All right, have and have not fans. Now it's time to get down to the nitty gritty. I think a few days ago, maybe around Wednesday or Tuesday, on Facebook, Twitter, as well as the community tab on YouTube on my channel, I asked the question of, could you let me know what was it about this season that was the biggest disappointment for you? Pretty much, I wanted to get the viewer's perspective on the first 10 episodes. What was it about these episodes that really made you, I guess you could say, feel cheated, or you don't feel like you were given what you were promised? We're talking about how hyped the trailer was, but the episodes didn't deliver. And I think we got over maybe 200 different options here in terms of comments between YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, because I posted in like two groups, Twitter and YouTube. And I just finished going through all the comments, and most of them were the same, to be honest. I didn't really see a lack of inconsistency anywhere. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but what I did was I picked the most recurring top five. But again, it wasn't really that hard to condense it, because some comments that were different from others were just reworded or structured differently. So in I guess you could say no particular order, because to be honest, these five things were pretty darn close. Like, I don't think any of these five actually, stood out from the rest, because they're pretty consistent. So let's just get into it. And let me just make it clear that number one, yes, I'm aware that these 10 episodes do not consist of the entire season. May 1st is going to pick up where we left off. So after the entire season of 2018 is done, I'll go back and do a similar video going over the pros and the cons. Secondly, this is pretty much the fans' perspective on this. Like, this isn't me giving my thoughts. I have another video in the works where I'll be talking about things that I liked and things I disliked about this season so far. So again, all of this comes down to what the fans and viewers were telling me on social media. So this isn't a hate video. This is kind of putting things together, because I'll just say that there are a lot of people who said a lot of negative things since January when episode 1 came out. So without further ado, I'm just going to go through the list here. Number five, I would just say that Unresolved Plots is something that is not new to the haves and the have-nots in terms of fans and what they want from the show. There have been so many. Celine, Jennifer Salason's murder, Amanda, the homicide case, who killed her. I mean, yes, it was brought back up with the bullet thing, but that turned out to be a huge disappointment, because George was kind of using that information to his advantage to get the criers to slip up. I mean, Unresolved Plots is just a big thing that I don't think is ever going to go away, even with the show ending in 2020. I dare say, and I hope, and I really am sad to say, I do not think everything could be wrapped up. Is it possible? Yes, but at the end of the day, with how slow things are moving, and it's like all these new characters and storylines are introduced into the series without older ones being resolved first. Yes, it is interesting though when some of the newer storylines actually tie in to some of the older stuff, but you can't deny that some things have been forgotten and thrown to the wayside. So Unresolved Plots, and I only mentioned a couple now, unresolved plot points and storylines is a big deal in the haves and the have-nots community, and that's something that the writing team, or should I just say Tyler Perry, needs to take in consideration. Now we get to number 4 here, and you know what, this actually does make sense here. We're talking about characters who just seem to get away with anything and everything. This is mainly in regards to Candace Young and Veronica Harrington. To be honest, they pretty much ran this season. I think that the first part of this season was definitely Candace focused, hence why the trailer that we got in December was Candace talking about how she's going to get revenge on everyone. But then the trailer we have for May 1st seems to be more Veronica-esque focus, when we're talking like, you won't be rid of me, and what, I don't want to see you anymore for the rest of my life. And then Veronica's like, that's not very long. And then she's like, what the hell is wrong with you, boy? And I'm on the warpath and I have you in my sight. So you can tell that Veronica is going to be a major focus during the back half of the season. But that doesn't make up for the fact that, yes, Candace was in jail, but guess what? She got out. Candace was almost killed by Quincy. Jeffrey saved her life, and now Jeffrey's in jail because of that situation. Veronica, she was in the car wreck, but that got resolved way too quickly. There was no consequence. She was in the hospital for what, maybe one night, if that, just due to smoke in her lungs, and now she's kind of gotten her strength back. So the list goes on with these characters, and again, the haves and the have-nots is not the only show guilty of this. Eddie on If Loving You Is Wrong is a prime example of a character on another show who does wicked things but just seems to move on without any consequence. So no consequences for characters like Candace and Veronica is also something that people are tired of. And now moving on to number 3. Oh, this is a good one. Too many commercials. I mean, a lot of fans have pointed out, and keep in mind that Twitter, I always pay attention to Twitter on Tuesday night, even if I'm not able to watch the show live at 9 p.m. with everyone else, due to whatever, if I'm working on something else. And to be honest, I'm going to be honest here, and a lot of people feel the same way. I'm not really in a rush to watch the episode when it airs because, to be honest, you're really not missing too much. You're really not. And that's going to lead into one of the top 2, but I'm not going to reveal it just yet. But too many commercials. I mean, the premiere episode of the season was barely 37 or 38 minutes. I remember way back when I did the season premiere review, I said that I counted it. Then I went online and I saw the episode. And if you subtract the introduction where they did a recap of last season and, you know, the commercials and whatnot, the episode itself was barely over 30 minutes. And that is sad. That is sad. So a lot of fans don't even want to watch the show live because of too many commercials. They would rather wait until maybe later that night or the next day, basically Wednesday, and then find the episode online on YouTube or somewhere where you can actually see the, 35, 40-minute episode, and that will be that. You don't have to worry about the endless streams of commercials that come in. So too many commercials, too many commercials is number 3 on this list. Now we get to the top 2. I'm going to say that number 2 is kind of consisting of multiple characters. Now, we're talking about, I want to just condense this for characters that the fans have so many questions about or they just despise. Justin and Jeffrey, that storyline, fans just hate it. I have to agree. I am not a fan of it. Melissa's pregnancy, I guess you could say that almost goes into the unresolved plot points, but I think that I'm not going to put that, I didn't put that in the category because allegedly Veronica is going to be taking Melissa to the doctor soon to check up on the whole pregnancy thing. Why aren't you showing? So as of right now, I'm going to let it semi slide. You know, let me just wait until the first couple episodes in May to see if they actually get that information for us, if they actually go to the doctor and we find out the truth. Candace and this whole pimp thing, it's just ridiculous. Landon pretty much pointed out what the fans were saying in the show. It's like, you're just lashing out because you're grieving. You're just angry over the death of your son. So you're just doing what you think is best, you know, just resorting to your old ways. And it's really sad and pathetic and stupid. So the Candace pimp thing is just ridiculous. So I would say that the Justin Jeffrey storyline, Melissa's pregnancy, Candace and the pimp thing, some but not a lot of people were talking about Erica and like why is she still on the show, but yeah, I really don't think she'll make it past this season in my opinion. So that's number 2 in regards to characters who the fans hate the most. And the number 1 complaint, and I think this goes about saying, you probably already guessed what it is, the slow pacing of the show. Now, this isn't just in regards to unresolved plot points. This isn't just in regards to characters who come on the screen, but you just can't stand their presence. We're talking slow plot in regards of characters repeating the same dialogue. It's pretty much rinse and repeat. If like David and Hannah are talking about one thing for like 1 week, then the following week, Hannah talks to Benny about that exact same dialogue, people repeating themselves over and over again, some scenes being between 5 to 12 minutes of 2 characters just going back and forth, and that leads into the next episode where that exact same dialogue, almost verbatim, is given in another 5 to 12 minutes. So pretty much is like the repetition of the dialogue, Some scenes just being way too long for the sake of filling up time, pretty much any time that's not filled with commercials already. And the fact that the show is written to be like a 5-day-a-week soap opera or drama series, but it's only coming on once a week, and we're getting maybe give or take 20-25 episodes a year. So I would say that pretty much wraps up the top 5 complaints that fans of the haves and the have-nots have with this show. I wouldn't just say with this season as a whole, well, at least the first part of this season, but just because these complaints are things I've been hearing and seeing online through social media for the past few seasons, not just this one we have right now in 2018. So with that being said, let me know in the comment section below, what other complaints? I wouldn't even say what complaints did I miss, because as I said, these 5 complaints were the main ones I saw consistently through Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube comments. So I want to hear your thoughts on this, because I would say at least 10 to 15 comments I saw were people saying, hey, Tammy or Rachel, they already explained exactly what I wanted to say. Slow pace, too many commercials, no consequences for these characters to pretty much get away with anything, unresolved plot lines or forgotten plot lines, or characters like Melissa not showing her pregnancy, Justin just being obsessive psychopath, Jeffrey being a crybaby, Benny written to be some kind of man whore, Candace being a pimp, and the list goes on. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because as I've said many times before, even though the show is on hiatus, I still have plenty of videos to keep you entertained until the show comes back on May 1st.